Here are the 7 worst guitar solos ever recorded. 7. Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit. Let's get one thing straight about Fred Durst. The man is a decent frontman with real stage presence and a genuine knack for reading a crowd. What he is not, under any circumstances, is a guitar player who understands the instrument needs to be played and not just a showpiece. When Durst decided to strap on a Les Paul during Limp Bizkit shows and attempt lead guitar, the results were less a solo and more a public joke. The tragedy is that Wes Borland, the band's actual guitarist, is genuinely inventive and bizarre in the best possible way. It's unnerving he didn't nudge Fred and say, "Hey, I got this one." In case you're wondering about the song title, it's Nevermind by Limp Bizkit. Number 6. Kurt Cobain, Milk It. Cobain was a genius songwriter who understood exactly what he was doing. And part of what he was doing on In Utero was deliberately making people uncomfortable. The solo on Milk It sounds less like a guitar and more like someone walking aimlessly in a circle. Here's the fascinating context, though. Nirvana recorded In Utero as a direct response to the enormous commercial success of Nevermind, specifically to push away casual fans who didn't understand what the band was actually about. Mission accomplished. The solo is anti-music by design, and Cobain would have considered your discomfort a personal compliment. 5. Lil Wayne, Leather So Soft. Rappers come and go, but few are as impressionable as Lil Wayne. He isn't just one of the most gifted rappers of his generation, but also a real visionary. His wordplay, his timing, his ability to make seemingly impossible rhyme schemes sound effortless, genuinely elite. And then, just when you thought he couldn't disappoint you, he picked up a guitar. The solo on the track, Leather So Soft, sounds like what happens when someone explains guitar playing from a description they read once and never actually touched the instrument. Wayne later doubled down by recording an entire album of guitar-forward music called Rebirth, which was received with the kind of warmth normally reserved for a fender bender in a parking garage. 4. Andy Summers, Mother, The Police. The Police are genuinely one of the most musically sophisticated bands in rock history. Sting's bass playing alone is worth a semester of music theory. Stuart Copeland plays drums the way a chess grandmaster plays chess, always 10 moves ahead. And Andy Summers is a legitimate guitar innovator whose playing defined the sound of an entire era, which makes Mother so bewildering. The solo is deliberately dissonant and intentionally abrasive, designed to feel like fingernails on a chalkboard inside your skull. It's been said Summers defended his creative piece, but let's be honest, if there was a skip button, you'd click it. 3. Kirk Hammett, Some Kind of Monster, Metallica. This one genuinely hurts and bothers me at the core. Kirk Hammett is not just my guitar hero, but many would agree he's one of the most technically accomplished metal guitarists alive. His melodically rich soloing helped define what heavy music could sound like, especially in songs like One and Enter Sandman. But there was one album that fell flat. Saint Anger, an album recorded during what amounted to a full band psychological breakdown. This went down in real time as it was documented in a famous film where the members sat in therapy sessions trying not to fire each other. The band made a conscious decision to strip the album of traditional solos as a creative statement. But let's be honest, Hammett's play of a solo at the end of Some Kind of Monster is the sonic equivalent of a shrug. It's not a solo. It's a guitar player briefly remembering he owns a guitar. 2. Vinnie Vincent, Boys Are Gonna Rock. Vinnie Vincent briefly played in Kiss, which should tell you something about both his upside and his volatility. He left under infamously difficult circumstances and started his own band. The choice to do this was something questionable, as he would find out later. The Vinnie Vincent Invasion, which existed primarily as a vehicle for him to play as many notes per second as humanly possible, regardless of whether those notes had any business being there. The solo in question is speed without direction, technically demanding and emotionally empty in equal measure. Boys Are Gonna Rock is the guitar equivalent of someone telling you everything's going to be okay, but it's really not. 1. Kerry King, Fight for Your Right, Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys wrote this song as satire, but the world took it literally. Kerry King of Slayer showed up to play guest guitar on it, and what he contributed is a solo that sounds chaotic and questionable. The Beastie Boys later expressed mixed feelings about his involvement. King himself has given his own thoughts after only getting paid a few $100s for the recording. So the solo comes with regret and simplicity all rolled up in a burrito. Every single one of these moments was committed to tape by people who knew exactly what they were doing. But do you think a bad guitar solo from a great musician should be judged? Or should we just accept the idea that everyone has bad days?